right, guys, I know a heck of a lot of you struggle with early extension, which means you move your lower body in towards the golf ball, invading the space through which the arm should be swinging, okay? If you've watched videos on my channel, I talk a lot about articulating the wrist and swinging the arms, because I believe the vast majority of golfers unfortunately believe that you get to the top of the backswing and you throw your body at the golf ball and magically everything else happens, all right? The body, of course, plays a very, very important role. It's a force multiplier. I believe the body should stay out of the way of the arms. That is what we're going to work on today. Early extension, we're going to kill it. We're going to end it with 3 simple drills. They're progression drills. Gosh, 30 minutes on a driving range, working on helping you keep your pelvis in its depth. I can't think of anything more important than that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off here. We're going to fly through this. First drill. Okay, I know you've probably seen this before. I've talked about it a lot on my channel. I call it the closer drill. What we're going to do is we're going to take the trail foot and work it behind us a little bit more, create a space here between the lead heel and the trail toe. Most of you struggle with creating depth, which means your hips don't get out of the way in the backswing. All right, we want to create a pocket behind us for those arms to drop. If we move laterally, if we elevate the arms, if we come this way, we've got no room, right? So the whole objective here is to take your obliques and your trail hip and move around the corner. Get your hands above your heel line, back in here, okay? We can do a lot of good things from there. Some of you are very tight with your hips. It makes it hard to do that. So people have said to me, can you play golf this way? Absolutely, you can play golf this way. Just drop your trail foot back behind you. Keep your upper body fairly square with the irons. With the woods, of course, you can turn a little bit further to the right. And we're going to hit some golf balls just like this, all right? So I'm going to work around the corner. Back in here is the goal, okay? Get my hands a little bit more around the corner. Keep my upper body back. Allow my arms to work down. Look at the space here. All right. So rather than driving your trail knee and hip out towards the golf ball, invading that space, coming over the top of it, having all sorts of problems with low point control, what we're going to do here is we're going to create a nice big pocket for our arms to drop down, keeping our upper body back. We're going to start to send our arms a little further to the right through the golf ball. Going to get some expansion through the ball rather than contraction, which is what's happening when you're coming over the top. I'm going to go ahead and send my arms in the direction of this orange alignment rod. That's what it's there for. Okay, a little further to the right. All right, let's get after it. Right foot back, closer drill. So my path is more to the right there because my arms have room to drop and expand. For you slicers, I can't express how important this is, all right? One more. Then we're going to progress into the second drill. So maybe you hit yourself 10 golf balls. Use a tee if you like. Drop your trail foot back. Get the feeling here. The trail hip is working behind you, not moving laterally. Arms dropping, okay? You can see how I'm staying closed. Really feeling like I'm sending my arms out to the right a little bit more. There we go. That's a nice little spiral draw. After I've done that, we're going to progress to an anchor drill. An anchor drill is very, very simple. It's a little hard to execute. You might want to use a tee. We're going to keep our trail foot anchored the whole time. All right. That's going to really help us keep our pelvis behind us, underneath us. The irony of it is, if we anchor the trail foot, much of the time we're going to get more rotation through the pelvis. I know a lot of you are trying to get your hips open. Please stop trying to do that. It causes a lot more harm than it does good for the vast majority of golfers. But what you'll find here is if you can keep your trail foot down as you start down and feel a little bit of pressure moving forward, you're going to create a lot more of a window underneath you, right? The arms don't swing around the shoulders, guys. They swing under the shoulders. I talked about this last week in my hand path video. So let's go ahead and do an anchor drill. I keep my trail foot down the whole time. I do not move it on this drill. There we go. So I definitely feel some odd things happening when I do this drill. I feel somewhat restricted initially. You're probably going to feel restricted too. Don't worry about that, all right? Because we're going to progress through this here in a second. I feel like my chest is more down, right? Because I'm not driving my lower body into that space, which causes, unfortunately, extension prior to impact. We don't want to be extending when our arms are behind us, okay? Extending when your arms swinging past your body is just fine, all right? But if we're early extending as the arms are working down, we're going to have all sorts of trouble. All right, one more. Anchor in the trail foot. There we go. Feel really stable underneath me, all right? By the way, you struggle with bunker shots, do this in the bunker. I can't tell you how many people have their legs like spaghetti noodles trying to get out of a greenside bunker. It's not a good idea. So this is going to really help stabilize that lower body so that the lower body is supporting you as you pivot the golf club rather than moving all over the place. So what's the next progression? Very, very simple. I shot a little video of my camera PGA Tour event yesterday. Unbelievable to see Rory McIlroy. Patrick Reed is another one that comes to mind. Incredible Swedish player. Olberg, fantastic golfer. Hits the living you-know-what off the golf ball. And it's incredible to see how long he keeps his trail foot down. So what we're doing on this last one is we're going to make contact right here. And then after you've hit the golf ball, you're going to allow your foot to start to come up, okay? What I don't want you is driving this foot when your arms are behind the golf ball, okay? We're going to allow the foot to come up after we hit the golf ball, not before. So we want to hear that click before we get off that back foot. Let's go ahead and do that. Little 9-iron here, not swinging too hard. There it is. Let's do that one more time. There we go. Do it again. Look at how I keep my back to the target. Look at that trail foot. I'm not moving my trail knee out towards the golf ball. All right. Lots of room for my arms. And then I'm going to allow my trail foot to come up. One more. Very happy with that. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Early extension is an absolute killer. All right, no question. I see all sorts of people struggling with this. We can create some room underneath us for our arms to swing more freely. It's going to make a world of difference. Slicers, keep your back to the target. I think this drill here, where you drop that right foot back, is going to be incredibly helpful. But work through the progression of all three drills when you practice, maybe 20 minutes or so. Rotate through the drill, 10 balls with each drill. Let me know how you get on with this. If you think this will help, go ahead and share. I'd certainly appreciate it. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And we'll talk to you next time, guys, okay? Get after it.